Hello everyone, it's Vegan Steedoj here, back to more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and I wanted to get this off as soon as possible because we already have patch notes for Sparking Zero, so we're not going to waste any time. Right now it says Dragon Ball Sparking Zero patch 22nd September. That is the early access date for the DLC, so remember, if you pre-ordered the game, you can just play the DLC like tomorrow, basically, right? And the message is, thank you for playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, yada yada. It'll be available on all systems. We know this already. Let's get straight into the changes. Now, the changes, starting from the first one, is they're adding the first Demon World stage. This is the first ever stage DLC in Sparking Zero, and I wish it was a stage that had stage destruction, but to be fair, we kind of expected the stage to at least get added, because even the anime kind of like makes it a very obvious like fight location for a video game, right? It's literally a floating arena that shows up out of nowhere just so the characters can box on it because, you know, they're bored. I think that's really funny, but hey, I'm glad we finally have a new stage. Single battle mode. Now, this one's a pretty big change, especially if you're actually a single battle gamer. But characters who recover health when they transform no longer do so. So if you're a character that has like a lower HP threshold, and then you transform to get like a 4th health bar or to heal or something, you now just won't. The reason why is because people would do custom battles, well, not custom battles, they would do single battles like Ultra Instinct Sign, and as Ultra Instinct Sign's health gets lower, they would just transform, which basically gives them the 4th health bar, which would make single battles still unfair. And I think they did this just to balance out single battles, although it does make characters who don't have 4 bars of health like kind of it makes them look a lot weaker. Characters who can transform will receive a permanent attack buff when transforming using a skill stock. This buff is removed when reverting your transformation. So now obviously in single battle there is a bigger reason to start off in a weaker form, because you can just stack attack buffs from your base form all the way to your latest form, because everyone knows single battles now, everyone has the same stats. But if you take the risk to be a weaker character and then transform into a higher tier character, I think one of the best examples is DBS Gohan into Gohan Beast, since he goes from 4 DP to 9 DP. You'll be getting ridiculous stacks. And some features and changes and adjustments. Options. They added an option for displaying the edge of the battle area, allowing players to choose a method where the boundary appears when approaching it. I think this is just to let you see like the wall of the game, basically. If you want the wall of the game to just be visible when you're next to it, or, you know, before you get next to it, or if you want it to just be an invisible barrier the whole time anyways. Just to, you know, just to like an immersion thing. Do you want to really see the barrier when you're playing the game? Just something like that. Game mode adjustments. They've adjusted some of the story mode, which is the episode battle. They adjusted difficulty of stages in accordance to the battle system adjustments. So yeah, they always change how hard certain levels are depending on like the state of the patch right now. And I'm assuming a lot of the stuff in the battle system is what's going to make them change how story mode works. But custom battle, they've added more text and 2D cutscenes. Okay. I kind of wish custom battle just got like an easier layout to work with. I feel like half the reason why I don't mess around, well, the reason I don't make things in custom battle anymore is because it's just a nightmare to navigate, like the whole menus and systems. And I wish custom battles were as unrestricted as the story mode cinematics. You know, in story mode cinematics, you can like adjust a cat, like you see the camera move in insane ways. You see characters like, you know, do like perception animations in these cinematics. But in actual custom battle, all you get is like a few like, you know, really tame options. It's not really as exciting as I thought it'd be. Ranked matches. Players will now receive a minimum of 50 points regardless of the difference in rank points at the end of a season. Players ranked first to 100 will receive a text. Okay, no one cares. Similarly, for character ranks, players ranked first to 100 will receive text indicating their rank at the end of the season. Okay, so this is just like if you want bonus points for doing like ranked stuff. I guess that's like completely fine. Battle system changes and adjustments. Okay, so short dash. Players can now perform another short dash immediately after the first one, but only once. Okay, I think this is just... Okay, this is probably going to be crazy, actually. This change alone is probably going to be nuts. Like 2 short dashes, like instantly back to back. That you could dash into someone to bait out an attack and then immediately go back around, like to like end up behind them. If you do it from a certain range, that's nuts. But also, this will actually make dodging super attacks easier. Because when super attacks get fired, sometimes they're slow enough or fast enough that one short dash isn't enough, and having a second one might actually help you get out of the way. So this is an insane change. This will probably be this alone will change the game a lot. I'm curious. Ascent and descent, so just going up and down. They've increased the speed of going up and down when you're at close range, and you can do you use up more ki when you do the quick version. Okay, I think this is to prevent people like flying to the top of the map and just charging up mindlessly, or flying to the top of the map and just transforming to like get away from you, because it takes up more ki now. And ultimate attacks, they've reduced the damage reduction. They've reduced the damage reduction correction when using ultimate attacks and combos. Okay, so ultimate attacks and combos are back on the menus, because honestly, I stopped using ultimate attacks and combos because the damage drop-off was so ridiculous. It was just a waste of my sparking mode. Usually you just land a heavy finish or like a ground slash, And then you just do the ultimate attack because you want the least damage reduction affecting your move as possible. But they're changing it, so now you'll see a lot more ultimates in PvP, which could suck. But at the same time, I did think ultimate attacks were actually starting to lose their main function, so I'm okay with this. Ki Blast Deflect. Players can now quickly perform smash attacks during Ki Blast Deflect. So when you're knocking back Ki Blast, you can quickly throw in like a charged attack or like a heavy attack, a smash attack. Okay, I'm not sure. Well, you know what? I'll probably get a lot of use out of that because I use smash attacks very often. So I'll probably get a lot of use out of that. But I'm not sure about everyone else. Super Counter. Ki will no longer automatically recover during Super Counter. I'll be honest, I totally forgot that Ki recovers during a Super Counter. Super Counter is just so dumb, man. I hate that whole mechanic. I'm being serious. See-through. What the hell is see-through? Do they mean perception? The follow-up techniques after... Oh, yeah. But this is the English version. This isn't like a rough translation. This is the English version of the webpage, and they still have, like, these weird, like, translated names. Okay. But see-through. The follow-up techniques after a successful perception can now be charged by holding the perception button. Wait, so we could charge perception? Okay. Very curious to see how that goes, being able to charge perception. And Sonic Sway. Fixed an issue where follow-up attacks after Sonic Sway could be guarded for some characters. I'm not sure how that made it through, but that's actually funny. Revenge Counter. Fixed an issue where the activation window of the perception against Revenge Counter was shorter than intended. Okay. So... isn't that more of a change to perception than revenge counter? I don't know, but guard break. Fix an issue where smash attacks in the same direction could not break guards after a guard break. What? Okay, I feel like everything past this point is like a rough translation. Who did this part of the page? Fixed an issue where smash attacks in the same direction could not break guards after a guard break. If the guard's broken, how do you break it? Whatever, I'm sure we'll figure that one out when the actual patch goes live and we see it in motion. But paralyzing smash Ki Blast. Increased Ki consumption. Okay, so paralysis Ki Blasts are getting nerfed from the looks of it. Revenge Counter can now be used when hit from the front. Oh, paralysis Ki Blast, yeah, they used to stop you being even able to revenge counter, so you just have to eat whatever was coming your way. And hitting 2 paralysis Ki Blasts in a combo will now cause the opponent to be blown away into the paralyzed. So now paralysis Ki Blasts don't loop either. That's quite the big nerf to Final Form Cooler, but and I'm only mentioning him because I can't remember who else used paralysis Ki Blasts. Tornado Slash. Fix an issue where guarding could be inserted during Tornado Slash. Okay. What do they mean? Tornado Slash. What's Tornado Slash? Is that rolling hammer or is that ground slash? I'm not sure what that is. Could you block while doing the attack at the same time? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. I feel like a lot of this is a pretty struggle translation past this point. Let's hope the rest of this is easier to understand. Okay, skills and adjustments. Here we go. Dispo, super maximum light speed mode. An icon will now be displayed during the effect duration. Okay. And key consumption for short dashes is reduced during the effect. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever actually physically turned on the game and then ever selected Dispo. So I'll be real, I didn't even know he had this. So... now I know. Blast changes and adjustments. General unblockable rush blasts can now be evaded with auto evasion skills such as the after image technique. So you couldn't avoid Ki Blast barrages with auto evasive techniques or what? Okay, well either way, now we can. And character changes. Okay, Gogeta Super. So Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta specifically. They increased the attack power of his charged Ki Blast when he standing. Okay, so yeah, the energy volley. Then they increased the power of his charged Ki Blast. So his charged Ki Blast did get buffed again because I'm sure you guys remember that used to be really broken at one point and they nerfed it, but now they've buffed it probably to an in-between state of where it was before and where it is now. So I can't wait to see how that looks because that is one of the more unique charged Ki Blasts in the game, and it's also one of the more useful ones because it just used to do a lot of damage and it actually combos into his super attack, which is supposed to be lore accurate because he throws the Stardust Breaker like at you during that. And I think that was a really cool feature. Whis adjusted the Blast Overture to Destruction to be less likely to hit opponents directly above or below. What? Did this move have like a broken hitbox? So now it has a lower chance to hit you if you're directly above or below Whis. Okay, I guess I had a ridiculous hitbox before, but now they've balanced that out. And other rules, battle rules. Fix an issue where stepping out of bounds during battle with ring outs would not result in a ring out. Don't know how that happens. I'm not sure how that happens. And online match. Fix an issue where the UI on screen was sometimes not displayed. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm glad they fixed that, but at the same time, I'm going to miss the lore accurate Dragon Ball fights where neither player could tell how much HP or ki they have. or how much skill counter they have. You just have to fight, like immersive mode, right? I'm sure you guys remember that immersive mode is gone. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad it's gone, but at the same time, it was pretty funny to just end up in a match and be forced to do it. It felt like a challenge. Like you would load into a match and it'd be like a challenge. Hey, can you beat this guy without seeing anything on your screen? So now we can see our health bars and key and stamina, well, not stamina, but like skill counter and all time now, which is honestly a good thing, but I will miss immersive mode while it was here. And that is it. That is it for the patch notes, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you guys liked anything in particular, or if anything stood out to you, please let me know what your favorite thing was. I think my favorite thing by far, obviously aside from the new stage, is probably this feature of single battles having stacking transformations. It means that you have a higher incentive to pick characters that are not in their final form, especially in single battles. Now, this could potentially screw over characters who are not as strong and then also don't transform. Because even though they've kind of like equalized all the stats with single battles, characters like Roshi are always going to just be weaker than characters like UI Goku. They punch slower, you know, they have less priority. Their finishers or their specials during combos are going to be less, like, you know, for example, it takes longer to get to the rolling hammer, longer to take to the heavy finish, longer to get to the flying kicks, all of that stuff, right? So I am curious to see how this goes in particular, but I think that's my favorite one, because characters who transform loads of times, like Z Goku and Super Goku, will probably end up being monsters by the time they get to like Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan Blue. But yeah, that's I think that's my favorite part. I really want to see how this goes, because I don't think anything was too overtuned in this. It sounds like it's just them experimenting with how the game should look, or how the game should work, to try and get players back into the game. Because stuff like the short dash adjustments are very interesting, so I'm curious. But for now, I think that's a good place to end the video, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, then obviously again, please leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the Greatly Sports channel. Leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next, fellas. I do love you all. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Take care and peace.